Right, ready to dive in. Today, we're looking at these, well, CEO level finance conferences.
Okay.
Those gatherings, they're kind of exclusive where the top financial minds, strategize, debate, all that.
Mm.
And I think we're all wondering, like, what actually goes on?
Hmm.
And does it matter to us regular folks?
Yeah. No, I think that's the big question, right? These aren't just like, fancy retreats with great views.
Right.
We're talking serious discussions. Global economics, tech disruptions, even, like how to make money without destroying the planet.
Yeah, because that's important too these days.
Absolutely.
So we got to start with the big one, right? Davos, the World Economic Forum,
Yeah.
famous, snowy, all that. But in those meeting rooms, what's the real financial stuff going on?
Okay, well, this year, huge debate, right?
Mm.
Emerging markets, debt crisis. Basically, interest rates are up.
Yeah.
Makes it hard for some countries to, pay back loans.
Mhm.
And that could, trigger a domino effect. Bad for everyone.
Oh, so it's like high stakes Jenga, but with the global economy.
Pretty much. And it goes beyond just bailouts, right? They're talking about, how do you even lend sustainably? How do you make sure developing economies aren't, left behind as things globalize so fast?
It's like Davos is the economic war room, but instead of generals, it's CEOs with spreadsheets.
Haha. Yeah, kind of. And that's where, the Milken Institute Global Conference comes in. Similar big issues, but West Coast vibes.
Hold on, so avocado toast instead of like the snowy mountains.
Maybe some more in Beverly Hills. But the focus is different. Milken's big on how innovation solves these global problems.
Oh, so not all doom and gloom then.
No, definitely not. Like this
Yeah.
year, hot topic was fintech solutions, how to make financial systems more inclusive.
Oh, so that's cool. Like not just making money, but using tech to, make a difference.
Exactly. And that tech focus kind of leads us to the Financial Times Global CFO Forum.
Okay.
CFers, obviously, but tons of CEOs show up too, because even the best ideas, someone's got to figure out how to pay for them, right?
Right. Yeah, makes sense. So what were the CFOs? What was their magic this time?
Well, AI was huge. AI in risk management and investment strategies everywhere, really.
Wait, AI is picking stocks now. I thought it was just writing poems and, bad music.
AI is moving fast. It's in everything. Like at the forum, they were talking about these algorithms, right? Analyzing tons of data, finding opportunities humans miss.
So like a superpowered financial advisor, but in the computer.
Kind of. But that's where the human part is still key. AI is a tool. It helps decisions. It doesn't make them.
Okay, that's a little less scary. But still, this AI stuff, it's moving so fast.
Yeah.
Are CEOs even like keeping up with what they're, I don't know, unleashing on the world?
That's a great point, and it shows the challenge for leaders today, right?
Yeah.
Constant disruption, tech changing constantly.
So it's not just knowing the tech, it's like the ripple effects, the ethics of it all.
Exactly. Which brings us to another big player, the Private Equity International CFOs and COOs Forum.
Okay, so from global economics and AI, now we're in the private equity world. This is where the real money is made.
Private equity is a big part of things, yeah. And this forum, it's all the nitty gritty of managing those huge investments.
Ooh, okay, so what were they like whispering about behind closed doors?
Well, ESG was a big debate, actually. Investors are putting on the pressure, want to see it in the investment strategies.
So even private equity can't escape ESG. Are we talking actual impact or just, greenwashing?
Bit of both, honestly. Some are into impact, but there's also tons of debate. Like, how do you even measure ESG? How do you report it?
So idealism meets the real world, I guess. Trying to make money and do good at the same time.
Yeah, and that's showing up at all these CEO events, right? It's not just about profit anymore. It's bigger than that.
It's like they're realizing the world's bigger than their balance sheets. That their choices, affect stuff outside the boardroom.
Precisely. And that's driving a change. They're willing to talk about tough stuff. Sustainability, social impact, even what does all this tech mean ethically?
Okay, so we've got Davos with the global crises, Milken and the tech solutions, FT and the AI, private equity with the ESG. I feel like we're just getting started, though.
Oh, yeah, we've barely scratched the surface here.
Well, good thing we've got more time then, right? I'm sure our listeners are hanging on every word.
I hope so. Speaking of scratching the surface, right? FinTech Week London. It's like peeking into the future of finance.
Ooh, future peaking. That sounds fun. So what's in this future? Like flying cars powered by Bitcoin.
Not quite flying cars, but some wild stuff. Decentralized finance, DeFi was big. Basically, like lending and borrowing, but no banks, no middlemen.
Wait, so I could get a loan from, like, a computer? Is that allowed?
It's not about allowed or not. It's blockchain, right? Making finance more transparent, efficient. Imagine you borrow from people directly, invest anywhere in the world, no bureaucracy.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty mind-blowing. But the CEOs, what about them? Are they into this DeFi thing, or are they, like, freaking out?
It's mixed. Some are all in, see it as the future. Others are more cautious, right? Worried about the risks, the regulations.
So some are riding the wave, some are clinging to the shore, hoping it doesn't crash on them.
And that's why these conferences matter. CEOs get to meet the disruptors, understand the tech, see how it'll hit their business.
Like a crash course in the future, but it actually matters for everyone.
Yeah, and it's easy to get caught up in all the tech hype and forget, it's still people making these things. It's not just algorithms.
Right, like building a cool algorithm is one thing, but using it ethically, thinking about the impact on people, on society, that's totally different.
And that conversation's happening more and more. CEOs are realizing you can't just innovate, got to think about the ethics too.
So it's not just can we do it, but should we do it?
Right.
Making sure it helps people, not just, I don't know, makes a few richer.
Precisely. And that brings us back to ESG. It's not a fad anymore. It's core to how companies run, how CEOs define success.
Okay, ESG is everywhere then. But what are they actually doing? Like putting solar panels on their offices, or is it more than that?
Way more than that. Like at Milken, they talked about supply chains, using them to push social and environmental change.
Oh, okay.
Imagine a big company only buys from suppliers who, meet high standards, ethical, sustainable, the whole thing.
So it's like they use their buying power to make everyone else do good too.
Yeah, and it's smart business. Good ESG means less risk, less bad press, less trouble with regulators, less chance customers boycott you.
So it's good for the world and good for profits. But be honest, are CEOs actually like altruistic, or is it just good business?
Probably both. But the point is, doing good and making money, they go together now.
Okay, so ESG is here to stay then. But with all this stuff, conferences, jargon, it's easy to lose the big picture,
Absolutely. So let's zoom out. Think about the average person, not the CEO in the fancy meeting. What does this all mean for them?
Right, like I'm listening to this and I'm thinking, cool, but I'm not a CEO. I just got to pay rent and maybe retire someday.
I get it. But these big CEO decisions, the global stuff, it impacts us all, even if we don't see it directly.
Okay, how? Like, how does a debt crisis somewhere else affect me?
Well, it can change prices. Like, if a big country can't pay its debts, boom, global chaos, inflation, markets go crazy.
So my groceries get more expensive because of something happening, like, across the world.
That's the thing, it's all connected. So understanding these big trends, it matters, even if it feels far away.
Okay, yeah, starting to connect the dots here. But what about something closer to home then, like AI in finance? Good or bad for me?
It's both. AI could make things easier, right? More efficient, personalized. Imagine an AI advisor. It analyzes your spending, picks investments for you, even argues with companies over bills.
Okay, that part sounds good. But what if the AI messes up? Costs me money or, goes rogue or something?
Those are real risks. AI is still new. It's not perfect. You got to be smart about it. Use it as a tool to help you decide, not just blindly follow it.
So, like, stay informed, ask questions, don't let the computer boss me around.
Exactly. And remember, AI doesn't replace you. You still need your own judgment, your gut feeling,
Okay, feeling a little better about that.
Yeah.
But honestly, finance, it's a lot. All this tech, global stuff, it's overwhelming.
It is. But my best advice, don't be afraid to learn. The more you understand, the better your choices will be. You'll be in control.
So be curious, even if it's complicated.
Yeah, and remember, finance isn't just money. It's power. It's how we build the world we want. It's a lot bigger than we think.
That's a big idea. So as we wrap up this part, let's challenge our listeners, right? Take what we've talked about and use it. Think about your goals, your investments, your job, even just your spending, and ask yourself, how can I use this to build a better future? For me, for everyone.
And don't forget to have fun with it, right? Finance doesn't have to be scary. Be curious. Explore. And hey, maybe one day you'll be at Davos with those CEOs.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe. All right. That's it for this part. We'll be back soon to keep diving deep. Okay, so we've looked at these CEO conferences, right? Global economics, the tech stuff. even the human side of it all.
Yeah, we've gotten a pretty good look behind the scenes, I'd say.
But now what? Like, what do we do with all this?
That's the real challenge, right? It's not just about understanding what CEOs talk about, it's how that connects to our lives.
Right, because I'm listening to all this and thinking, okay, cool, but I'm not running a giant company. I'm just trying to, pay the bills and not go broke.
I get it. But the thing is, those big decisions, the global stuff, it impacts us all, even if we don't see it right away.
Okay, like how, give me an example. That debt crisis we talked about. How does that affect, someone like me?
Well, think about prices. If a big country can't pay its debts, it messes up the whole system. Inflation goes up, markets get shaky.
So, like, my groceries get more expensive because of something happening across the world.
That's how connected it all is. So even if it feels far away, understanding those big trends, it matters.
Okay, yes, starting to see the domino effect here. But what about something more, I don't know, everyday then, like AI in finance? Good for me, bad for me?
It's both, honestly. AI can make things easier, right? Imagine like an AI financial advisor. It tracks your spending, gives you investment tips, maybe even fights with companies to lower your bills.
Okay, that part sounds pretty awesome. But what if the AI messes up
Yeah.
or, makes a bad decision and I lose money?
That's a real risk, yeah. AI is still new, it makes mistakes. So the key is be smart about it. Use it as a tool to help you make decisions, not just blindly follow it.
So, like, don't just trust the robot, do my own research, ask questions.
Exactly. You're still in charge. Your judgment matters. AI just gives you more information.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Mhm.
But honestly, all this, it's a lot. The financial world, it's so complicated.
It can be, yeah. But my advice, don't be afraid to learn. The more you understand, the better choices you can make.
So even if it's tough, be curious.
Exactly. And remember, finance isn't just about money, right? It's about power, about building the world we want. It's way bigger than we think.
Yeah, that's a pretty big idea. So I guess as we wrap up this whole deep dive, the challenge for our listeners is, well, take what we've talked about and use it. Your goals, investments, even just how you spend, and think, how can I use this to make things better for me, for everyone?
And don't forget to have fun with it. Finance doesn't have to be boring. Explore, ask questions, and hey, maybe you'll end up at one of these CEO conferences someday.
Uh-huh. Well, maybe. All right, that's it for our deep dive. Thanks for listening, everyone.